If you want some interior design inspiration, look no further than the carpet shark. He would look great in my living room. Also known as the wobbegong, you can find this sea creature in the Southwest Pacific Ocean. They're not what you'd call an accent piece. Carpet sharks hang out among the coral reefs of Australia, where they blend right into the scenery. If you think that name sounds familiar, you might have seen the viral photo of this grinning guy floating around the internet, but you shouldn't believe everything you see online. That's actually a goosefish. They're easy to mistake for wobbegongs because they have similar hunting strategies and camouflage techniques. But goosefish have a broader face and are a type of anglerfish found in deeper waters. Okay, so now that we've set the record straight, what's the deal with the wobbegong anyway? Their name comes from the Australian Aboriginal language and translates to shaggy beard. They're solitary animals that spend most of their time in murky waters where they can blend in with the surroundings. Little is known about the wobbegong. They're shy and reclusive. Even if they wanted to speak up, they can't. The wobbegong has no vocal cords. They're silent but deadly. Because the fringes around their body make them masters of disguise that prey doesn't notice on the ocean floor, they can basically sit around for hours and wait for their dinner to come to them. When the time is right, the shark will suddenly propel themselves forward, and their fang-like teeth will pierce their prey like needles. Another trick up the wobbegong's sleeve, or fin I guess, is mimicry. Slowly, they wave their tail in the water, copying the movements of the surrounding fish. This gives its target the false impression that other fish are swimming in the area, making it appear safe for them. Then, snap! The deceitful carpet shark has scored another meal. Octopuses, crabs, and lobsters are the preferred cuisine of the wobbegong. Pretty refined palate. They've even been known to take down other sharks, some even bigger than they are. It's a shark-eat-shark world out there. The wobbegong can also walk across the ocean floor. Well, sort of. The carpet shark is sort of magic, almost like a magic carpet. Anyway, they use their pectoral and pelvic fins to hover just above the ground, which gives the illusion of walking rather than swimming. This allows them to move from one rock to another undetected. At night, they use the cover of darkness to further protect themselves from being seen. Very stealthy. When they're born, a carpet shark measures about 20 centimeters long. They stick with their mother for about a year, but despite those tassels, mom isn't the warm and friendly type. Instead, it's expected that the young sharks must fend for themselves. They hunt and learn about life on the reef on their own, even though they stick close to mom. Full grown, a carpet shark can be about 2 meters and weigh up to 70 kilograms. That is one ocean floor decor item you wouldn't want to mess with. The great white shark, one of the most feared creatures on the planet. But it's tiny compared to this crazy creature, the megalodon. This ancient predator was 3 times the size of a modern shark. Megalodon comes from the Greek term for big tooth. Makes sense. And it definitely lives up to its name with teeth as large as 18 centimeters in length. That's as big as an adult human head. How do we know about this long-extinct beast? Just how big were they? And what do they have to do with dragon tongues? The average size of an adult megalodon was about 10.2 meters, but the largest specimen found is 17.9 meters long. That's twice as long as a London bus. Fossilized remains suggest that the megalodon went extinct about 3.6 million years ago. That's about the same time the great white shark first appeared. Like Superman and Clark, I get it. Originally, scientists thought the great white shark was related to the megalodon, but recent discoveries suggest they may actually be descended from prehistoric mako sharks. It's now believed that there is no descendant of the megalodon in existence today. As the largest creature in the ocean, the megalodon was an apex predator. They were likely opportunistic feeders, eating whatever they came across. Their food could include dolphins, seals, and whales. And these 75-ton behemoths needed a lot of food. It's believed they ate about 1,130 kilograms every day. And well, they needed a huge mouth to fit all that in. The megalodon had a jaw span of about 3 meters wide with 276 serrated teeth. Researchers have estimated they would have had a bite force of up to 180,000 newtons. That's at least 3 times stronger than a Tyrannosaurus rex, allegedly. While fish and marine mammals made up the bulk of their diet, evidence suggests they also occasionally ate each other. Scientists theorize that unborn babies would even eat other embryos while still in utero. This would allow each baby to be as large as 2 meters when born. If they did make it out of their mother alive, a megalodon had a skeleton made mostly of cartilage. This meant it could stay afloat easier and swim long distances without getting tired. The downside for researchers is there's not much in the way of fossils to study. In a few rare circumstances, the cartilage mineralized, leaving behind a few precious examples of megalodon vertebrae. Their teeth, however, have survived the millennia and have taught us a lot about this massive beast. Unlike humans who only shed and grow new teeth once, this megashark would shed and replace its teeth throughout its life. It's these teeth that have become the main component of our modern knowledge of the megalodon. But before it was realized that these teeth were from a prehistoric megashark, people believed they were actually the tips of dragon tongues. Well, why wouldn't you think that? People would collect them for good luck, and some believed they even had medicinal properties. Megalodon teeth have been found around the world, with the exception of the Antarctic. Despite this, scientists theorize that dropping ocean temperatures doomed this massive creature. The megalodon wasn't able to adapt. It wasn't able to follow its prey into cooler waters or deal with the competition from the newly evolved great white shark. Well, the good news is this means you don't have to worry about coming face to face with a Meg. When you're diving, what's scarier than getting disoriented and lost in the deep, dark ocean? How about encountering one of these creatures from hell? This deep-sea nightmare is called the goblin shark, and it's got some nasty surprises to spring at you. How dangerous are those horrific teeth? How do goblin sharks hunt their prey? And could you be their next victim? Take a deep breath. We're diving into dark waters to meet your worst nightmare, the goblin shark. With its long snout, sharp, jagged teeth, and a complexion like Gollum's, the goblin could be the most grotesque shark.
You are ugly when you're angry.
They're named after mythical goblins from Japanese folklore and live at depths of 270 to 960 meters near the coasts of Japan, Tasmania, and even California. And if you think there is something almost prehistoric about its monstrous appearance, you are right. Goblin sharks are often called living fossils. Their family, the Mitsukurinidae, has been around for at least 125 million years. Weighing as much as 210 kilograms and growing up to 6 meters in length, goblins are less muscular than other sharks. Their bodies are soft and flabby. You can see their veins through their pinkish-white skin. And if those tiny eyes on that oversized snout have not creeped you out yet, wait till you see this. Yep, this shark can extend its jaw out by as much as 0.3 meters or 1 foot. That's 9.4% of its body length. Up to 115 terrifying teeth fight for room in its mouth. Elastic bands of skin tissue folded under these teeth allow the shark to whip its jaw out at an incredible 3.1 meters per second. That's longer and faster than any other shark. But why would a shark need its jaws to operate at such impressive speed? Well, this mighty predator of the deep has an embarrassingly slow swimming speed of 20 kilometers per hour. A leatherback sea turtle can swim twice as fast as a goblin shark. Extendable jaws increase the shark's chances of catching even the most elusive squids and crustaceans. Those and bony fish make up most of its diet. This shark prefers softer food to keep all its precious teeth intact. They're less than 1 centimeter across, so the goblin's teeth break pretty easily. You needn't worry about turning into prey for this fragile-toothed shark.
What a relief. I'm gonna have nightmares, you know.
Sometimes younger goblin sharks swim closer to the surface, but their teeth are even smaller than a fully grown shark's. As goblin sharks grow older, their snouts shrink, their skin gets pinker, and they move into deeper waters. So how do they manage to find their prey in the dark? Their snouts contain special organs called ampullae of Lorenzini. With their help, these goblins can detect electric fields created by other fish in the darkness of the deep oceans. The goblin shark is one of the rarest and deepest dwelling species, but human garbage affects their chance of surviving. Goblin sharks often eat the garbage that finds its way to the bottom of the ocean, and younger goblins sometimes end up as bycatch. There have also been isolated reports of people trophy hunting goblin sharks for their jaws. If you don't want to add any fuel to your nightmares, you better prepare to be scared. Sharks will always hold the title for most terrifying fish in the ocean. But when they come in so many shapes and sizes, have you ever wondered which are the most, shall we say, unpleasant looking? Lucky for you, we did.
Oh, hell no.
Let's go on the ultimate deep dive for 5 of the scariest sharks. Circling the number 5 spot, the basking shark. The slow-moving basking shark is considered the second largest fish in the world after the whale shark. It comes in at 12.3 meters long and weighs over 4,500 kilograms.
Wow, that's a big boy.
They're commonly seen swimming close to the surface and have regular encounters with humans. Fortunately, they are gentle giants that usually pose no threats, despite their ominous-looking mouth. They often swim in pairs or larger schools, with records showing up to 100 gathered together at a time. Basking sharks have an impressive filtration system in their mouth that can filter up to 2,000 tons of water every hour when feeding on zooplankton. Although having a friendly demeanor, let's not pretend if one were to swim up to you, it wouldn't ruin your day or year. Swimming in at number 4, the cookie cutter shark. Already don't like the sound of it. Now to explore the opposite end of the size chart. The cookie cutter shark usually doesn't grow any larger than 50 centimeters. It has light-emitting organs that are used for both camouflage and communication. Considering they usually hang out in dark conditions, they will also use this to attract prey. These sharks feed on whales and great whites that are 10 times their size or larger, and it's their small stature that prevents these predators from reaching them for a counterattack. They have been known to take bites out of humans. Don't underestimate these little guys. They get their name from the wound they leave on their victims after taking a bite. Chomping down on the number 3 spot, the goblin shark. Scientists estimate goblin sharks go as far back as 125 million years, earning them their living fossil nickname. You may notice that this nightmarish shark's jaw doesn't work like the rest. It can extend due to highly elastic tissue around the ligaments. This enables it to catch prey easier as the jaw extends up to 10% of its 3.5 meters body length. This comes in handy as the goblin shark moves painfully slow, with top speeds only reaching 20 kilometers per hour. They live 1,300 meters below the ocean surface, so that might explain why there have been no reported attacks on humans yet. Stalking the number 2 position, the bull shark. Bull sharks are one of the 3 shark species responsible for the most attacks on humans. They've been a part of at least 200 documented attack cases. This is likely due to them frequenting waters where people can often be found. In a research study, scientists compared the bite strength of over a dozen different sharks and similar fish. It was found that the bull shark has the strongest bite when it comes to maximum force. This, combined with its aggressive behavior and frequency of human encounters, is why many experts consider it the most dangerous shark in the world. And taking a giant bite out of our number 1 spot, the great white shark. Great whites are the largest predatory fish on the planet. These killing machines can swim up to 56 kilometers per hour and grow to an average length of 4.5 meters long. Some have even exceeded 6 meters. Yikes! Seems like overkill if you ask me. These apex predators contribute to as many as half of the 100-plus annual shark attacks across the world. Thankfully, most of these are not fatal. When a great white realizes it has a human in its mouth and not a seal, it usually releases them. Great whites can live in colder waters because, unlike most sharks, they are warm-blooded and can regulate their body temperature. Adding to their killer resume, they can detect minute quantities of blood from long distances. Researchers estimate that they can sense 1 drop of blood in approximately 100 liters of water. If you're craving more shark close encounters, we've got you covered. Check out our video on all the positive things sharks can offer us that makes them much more than just a menace to swimmers. Ranging in all sizes and scaring us half to death is what sharks do. They've been around for 450 million years and survived 4 mass extinction events. No, not the Kardashians. They have a ferocious reputation and have been known to eat people. But now, they're facing their toughest challenge yet. Us. Can a shark really smell a drop of blood from a mile away? Is their bad rap the whole truth? And how could sharks help us? We're taking a deep dive into the life of these prehistoric fish to find out why sharks are important. There are more than 440 kinds of sharks roaming the oceans, seas, and even freshwater habitats. They come in all sizes, from big to small. But for some reason, they have a bad reputation. Jaws. Maybe it could be because of their fierce nature. Or perhaps it's their scary looks. Jaws, Jaws! If you look at hammerhead sharks, it's no wonder that people are cautious. But just think of them like giant detectives seeking out their next meal. Hopefully it's not you. There's the great white shark. It's the biggest, and it probably causes the most negative feelings of all the sharks. Just a guess. They measure 6 meters or more in length and weigh at over 2.5 tons. They are apex predators, meaning they're right at the top of their respective food chains. Great whites are also the sharks most often linked to attacks on humans, and their bad rap has extended to all other sharks around the planet. There's also the myth of sharks being able to smell a drop of blood from 1.6 kilometers away. Well, that's not really true either. Sharks do have an excellent sense of smell, far better than ours, but not as good as we're afraid of, and it's more like 400 to 530 meters away that they can smell blood. But is our fear and panic helping sharks? Unsurprisingly, no. First, take a look at some statistics. Do you know the chances of being killed by a shark are 1 in 3.75 million? Unless you're in the movie Jaws. In comparison, the odds of dying in a car crash are far more likely, at 1 in 272. But that's probably a topic for an episode of How to Survive. Hint, hint. You are more likely to be killed by a dog than a shark, with 25,000 deaths a year caused by man's best friend. And if he kills you, he's not your friend. So let's turn the tables and ask, how many sharks do you think humans kill every year? Well, it's a staggering 100 million sharks. That's almost 200 sharks every minute. Most sharks get killed for the food and traditional medicine industries in Asia. But enough with all this negativity about sharks. It's time we heard some positive news, and there's plenty of it. Do you know that sharks are like the wolves of the ocean? They prey on smaller grazing fish, especially where there's seagrass. And if sharks did not eat the smaller grazers, they'd eat way too much seagrass and seriously deplete these carbon-reducing plants. Then there's sharks' impact on our technology. We don't quite have robo-sharks yet, but sharks have some secrets that could greatly improve our tech. Their torpedo-like shape helps them glide through the water effortlessly, and scientists have discovered that shark skin is just as special. It's got denticles, scales of different shapes and sizes, which help sharks increase lift and decrease their drag through the water, just like planes need to take off and fly. Researchers are combining 3D printing technology and prehistoric shark denticle designs to test and create wings that perform much better. There's more to sharks than you might think. They're important for our future and our planet's future. Speaking of creatures that can help us, why not check out 10 animals that may hold the key to cures? They might be scary looking and ferocious, but they are helping us. That's what sharks do, and that's what makes them crazy creatures.